Good morning and welcome to the Mr. Healthy Habits podcast again. Thank you again for joining me here. And this morning, we are going to start off with a bit of a thought experiment slash meditation. Now, we're going to talk about the subject of choice and free will. And I'm going to attempt to make an argument here to you that it's all an illusion and that we really don't have choices and free will in the sense that we believe that we do. So here we go. And suppose that you're driving in your car. You're driving down the road and you come to a fork. And now you've got a decision to make. You can either go left or go right. Now, I'm going to make the argument here that that choice that you have is really just an illusion. There's only one way that you can go. At the end of the day, there is only one way that you can go. You can't go both ways. A decision has to be made, and that decision that you're going to make is already an existing condition in the future. So now imagine you stop at this fork and you close your eyes. Now, let's go ahead and remove your arms and your legs. Let's remove your torso. And now, imagine we remove your heart and your lungs. Imagine we remove your physical brain. Now, imagine that we remove your thoughts. Hopefully by now we can all agree that we are not our thoughts. And we'll tackle that issue in another podcast. But for now, let's just remove your conscious thoughts. Now I want you to remove your memory. Your memory's wiped out. You can no longer remember the day before. You have no past. You have no thoughts. You have no heart. We'll remove your emotions because we're not our emotions. And now I'm going to ask you what's left. The Buddha and many great sages would argue that's it. There's nothing left. We are fundamentally selfless. And if that holds true, if once we remove our body, remove our thoughts, remove your mind and your desires and your emotions, remove your memory, if there's nothing left, well then just who or what makes the decision to go right or left at that fork? Because undoubtedly a decision is made. But who makes that decision if there's nothing left? See, what I'm trying to argue here is that decision that's being made, it's being made off of our memory. It's being made off of experiences and influences. It's being made off our senses. But at the core, there is no self that we retain that is making that decision. It's all external forces that have come inside and manipulated us in a way to formulate that decision to go right or left. There's really nobody at the wheel, as crazy as that sounds. And so I know what's the point of this? The point of this for me is to not stress over decisions that I've got to make in the future. Those decisions have already been made. The only thing I'm doing is experiencing. The only thing I'm doing is learning how to accept what is and keeping an open eye out for experiences and influences that come into my life. See, I'll use what I'm talking about here as an example. A lot of this comes from audiobooks that I listen to, self-help and personal development, spiritual books. And they make the argument that there is no self, which led me to this thought experience, which leads me to a life of not stressing so much over the decisions that I make in the future. So I thank you again for joining me, and please follow me along on Instagram at Mr. Healthy Habits with underscores and at philosophical.reminders. Also, look for this podcast anywhere you can. I'll probably start a YouTube series on this soon. And I hope you have an awesome week. Thanks again.